Hey guys, and welcome to Relationship Chronicles. Today we have a cheating revenge story from one of my subscribers that I will walk you through with, and afterwards I'll give my opinion and advice to this subscriber on how to deal with this situation. Here we go. In today's video, wife cheated, so I tricked her into publicly admitting to having the affair and herpes. Okay, so I'm the coworker that encouraged him to post this. Unfortunately, your account has to be 7 days old to post here, so I gifted him an altar I made for a joke about a month ago. This story is about 12 years old. I told it to one of my coworkers yesterday, and he said I should share it to read it. Today, he again nudged me, so here we are having drinks before the 4-day weekend, and my writing is complete. So first time here, and hi y'all. Sorry if there are typos. I included a TLDR at the end. In college, I met the woman who I thought was my one. We dated for about 2 years and had a big-ass wedding after a 10-month engagement. Our family was pretty well-to-do in a small southern town. We were both continuing our education, and I was also working to support us. I was pursuing a master's in engineering while she was finishing her doctorate in anthropology. Over the summer, an opportunity came up for her to make some extra money going as an AITA on a religious studies trip to Jamaica. I didn't hesitate when she asked me about it. I mean, she was going to get to visit Jamaica and get paid for it. I saw no downside other than missing her being at home for 6 weeks. Little did I know at the time, but she had been fucking a professor. He had hung out with us, smoked my weed, and drank my fucking beer. I considered him a friend who arranged the trip for a couple of months, and it was a getaway for them to bank all over the island. I, clueless and happy, went about the weeks while she was gone, taking extra shifts so I could match what she made in our account and surprise her. What a dipshit. Right. One of the students from the trip actually seeked me out to clue me in. I didn't believe him until I started looking for evidence on my own. I broke down and checked her texts while she was sleeping, and nothing was there. There were a few VMs, so I decided to listen in there. It was a message from that giant asshole saying how exciting it was that I almost caught them. I opened up her laptop and hid the emails after that. It was piles and piles of shit, making fun of me for not knowing fucking in our bed and laughing about it. There was so much, and I was so heartbroken, still too hurt to take any action. I was lost. I had no idea what to do, so I sat on it for a couple of weeks and acted as normally as I could. I noticed everything now. I felt so stupid for not seeing it before. So many signs. One stuck out in particular. I noticed that our stash of homemade weed lube. If you've never tried it, I highly recommend giving it a go was going down even though we weren't having sex. It was obvious they were also using the fruits of my labor to get off more effectively. This really pissed me off like unreasonably, so Hulk fucking mad. It finally all hit me. I was a goddamn joke to these assholes, and they were using the lube I made and fucking in my bed. I didn't hurt anymore. I just wanted to make them hurt. So while she was studying at the library, I made a new batch of lube. I put enough weed in it for it to smell like normal. But I also added some poison ivy from our backyard to the mixture. And after refilling the spray bottle we use for application, I waited. A few days go by and I'm working extra so I can be out of the house more, and bam. Faye taken that night after she goes to sleep, my plan goes into action. Before we continue, please like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. I sneak her phone away and delete my contact while replacing his phone number in his contact as mine. I go to bed but can't sleep because it feels like I'm 5 and tomorrow is Christmas. Dawn arrives and she's in the shower. I get a text. I'm super itchy. Are you okay? Now, Lord, now is my time. Look, I thought it had cleared up, but I guess I had a flare-up. I'm sorry, but I've got herpes. And I guess you do now, too. I heard this bitch squeak in the shower. I'm covering my mouth, damn near losing it. I went on to tell her that it was time to end things. Now, a new semester was about to start, and I kind of have a little crush on another TA. I wanted her mad. This is a woman that never got told no growing up and never had to deal with rejection, let alone from a balding dude in his 50s with herpes. When she got out of the shower, it was obvious she had been crying, but I could see the anger in her eyes. I can see how uncomfortable she was, squirming at the table, drinking coffee and mulling the situation over. Another little nudge is what she needed. The reply she got to her pages and pages of anger and sadness was thanks for the good times. But can you keep this a secret between us? I don't want to ruin my chances with anyone else. She's flush with anger now, just seething. She gathered her keys and headed out the door without even saying goodbye. I knew where she was going. I booted up her laptop and set it to reformat, deleting her dissertation, any notes pertaining to it, before following her to campus. I parked a few lots over and rushed over to his office, where I find her screaming at him for giving her herpes. There's lots of people there, professors, aides, students, other faculty undying. He is beyond embarrassed and confused as fuck. She is ugly, crying in front of her peers. I'm in heaven. I didn't even care that people were going to think I had herpes till the fallout was apocalyptic in their depart MIT. He lost his job due to code of conduct of the university. We got divorced the following year. State law was we had to be separated for 1 full year before being granted a divorce. I got to keep most of the assets, primarily savings and not a ton, but I worked for it. She never finished her doctorate and went on to be a perpetually pregnant housewife that sells Herbalife on Facebook, and he teaches high school now. It took a few years for it all to unfold, but watching it was glorious. TL, Dr. Wife, cheated. So I made her think she had herpes and engineered a social situation for her to out her affair publicly herself. Edit, a few of you are asking for a recipe for the goodies. So here you go. Follow the directions for use, or it's kind of a waste, and this is totally geared towards the ladies. We're talking big fucking us use polyurethane condoms. It breaks down latex. We loop 1/4 ounce flour, or 1 gram CO2, extracted live resin for furred 4 ounces, MCT coconut oil to 16 ounces, mason jars. 3 coffee filters, only a flower is used, to drops tea tree oil. It really makes a difference. 30 leaves, poison ivy, small spray bottles, think perfume. Put oils and wax or flour in mason jar A and heat an oven for 80 minutes at 240 degrees. Turn oven off and allow it to cool for about an hour. Strain through coffee filters if you use flour into the second mason jar, and then fill the spray bottles. Here's the instructions and description my current amazing wife wrote for a friend wanting to try it. At first, you can feel the warmth building up. Everything feels more intense to the touch. The waiting between application and playtime is a wonderful mystery. As time progresses, the butterflies in the pit of your stomach become more active while feeling self-awareness as the sensations and sensitivity increase. Walking become part of foreplay. The action causes more friction and heat to build up. As your spouse begins touching at your neck and shoulders, the warmth rises up your body, sending chills down your spine. Each touch becomes more euphoric than the last until foreplay is done. From there, enjoy complete euphoria and your partner's embrace. Application 8 to 10, total sprays. Use 2 to 3 on your fingers at a time. Self-application spray on fingers and massage around the clitoris and labia, down towards your opening, working the oil inward towards your G-spot. To help with cramp, spray on tampon insert, go without tampon. Get 5 milliliters in a syringe. Insert spray and stay with hips lifted for 1 to 2 minutes. With spouse, have your spouse apply the spray to their fingers, gently spreading it over the clitoris labia, pushing some into your cookie. Think of it like painting, the better the eye. Just wanted to say, I wasn't expecting this at all. And from someone who has had poison ivy in my vagina. Hey, I was a kid who didn't know what's being adequate. You have no idea the itch and pain limau that was really like a triple whammy, poison ivy / herpes, scare / public embarrassment. I will say this, I would so much rather hear that I had poison ivy than herpes. So I hope you eventually cleared that up, for I kind of feel bad about that part every time I think about all this. At the time, I felt like anything short of murder was okay though. I have about a dozen hard drives, 2 cloud storages, email copies, and 3 emails and 2 primary computers. With my research data coverage, the better it will feel. Be sure to apply to your G-spot. It's about 2 inches in on the front wall of your vagina for an added plus apply to the O spot, which is directly across from the G spot on the back wall of the vagina. Application shouldn't take more than 3 to 5 minutes. Then, don't even touch it for at least 20 minutes. Spend this time exploring other areas of your lovely treasure. Don't use if overly intoxicated. You'll simply waste it. Poison ivy optional, not recommended for self-use. Let's move on to my thoughts and advice for the person that is dealing with this problem. This story is a roller coaster of revenge with a twist of dark humor. The narrator's clever retaliation, turning the tables on his unfaithful wife and her accomplice, is both satisfying and audacious. While the methods employed are morally questionable, the poetic justice served brings a unique and unexpected resolution to the betrayal. The narrative is filled with suspense, culminating in a public revelation that dismantles the cheaters' lives. It's a tale that evokes a mix of shock, amusement, and a subtle sense of justice served in a rather unconventional way. I wish you the best of luck moving forward. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to today's stories. If you enjoyed listening, please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, comment below with your thoughts on what happened. Take care.